Hello guys and welcome to a video on the channel where we're doing something a little bit different today. As you can see, we've got a tier list running. We've got every FIFA game from FIFA 14 all the way up to FC 25 that we are going to be ranking. Before we do anything right now, I want you to go to the comments and let me know your least favourite FIFA of all time and your most of all time. I'd really appreciate that. If you enjoy this different style of content, please do leave a like to show me that you want more. And if you are new to the channel, at the minute we're talking a lot about FC 25 and how bad it is and that sort of stuff, so subscribe if you enjoy this style and we're going to get into it. If you need the cheapest FC 25 coins to build your super team, then check out MMOEXP by clicking the link down below and use code JambooUK for 5% off. Okay guys, so as you can see, we have some different categories here. We have greatest of all time, which will be my personal favourite. We have one of the best, which is the category where some of the top FIFA games will go. We have acceptable, which is basically, you know, the game was actually decent. Not one of the best, but if we got that today, you know, we'd probably be happy. We have meh, which is obviously meh. We have awful, which is awful. And then the worst FIFA game of all time. So, any guesses as to what that one's going to be? I don't think it's too difficult. But let's get into it. So, I do try to stay away from the nostalgia of some of these older games. You know, FIFA 14, 15, 16. I mean, 16, I sort of do remember it fairly well. But before that, it sort of becomes a little bit of a nostalgia cloud. The one thing I will say about these older FIFA games is at least they were arcadey, responsive, and people actually played the game for fun. You know, it wasn't about sitting on the menu, grinding SBCs, any of this modern day stuff. You know, people were playing FIFA to play football, and, you know, I respect that. So, FIFA 14, 15, and 16 will probably all go together. The thing I do remember about 16, I actually really enjoyed the gameplay. That gameplay was rapid, by the way. Like, if you go and watch FIFA 16 after this video and compare it to what we have today in the last few years, it is night and day difference. Like, the gameplay is pinging. So what I'm going to say, FIFA 14 all the way up to 16 are going to go into acceptable. I feel like if they were released today, people probably also wouldn't be happy, but they were decent games for sure. I'm not going to say one of the best because they do miss out on a lot of stuff. You know, the foot champs, a lot of the things we have today were not there back then, which actually do add to the game. So there is that. So we then have FIFA 17. This is the first game of the Foot Champions era. So Foot Champions came in FIFA 17, that was the real sort of kickstart of the esport and a lot of the things that we see today. It was 40 games of Foot Champs, by the way, in only a 48-hour period, which was absolutely disgusting. But a lot of these, in my opinion, were sort of the glory days. You know, the Foot Champs rewards were absolutely cracks. You might remember that we were getting tons of red player picks every week. You then had the monthly rewards. Content was booming because you had the pro players that were getting the top 100 monthly icon packs and stuff like that. It was just good, man. I think for FIFA 17, bringing in all the new stuff, that is going to go in one of the best. Gameplay wise, from what I remember with FIFA 17, it wasn't too bad. It was so AI defending though that it was unbelievable. I think the skill gap in defending on that game was absolutely atrocious. Like, genuinely, even at a pro level, one of the better ways to defend on that game was to just not touch your centre backs. Just let the AI do it. It was ludicrous. But yeah, it was a decent enough game. I think if we had that today as our product, people would be a lot happier than they are now. We then have FIFA 18. This was a pretty balanced game. This was the FIFA where the way to score was like the low drivens across the goal. And the gameplay, compared to what we have today, I would say I really enjoyed it. Did I actually enjoy it at the time? No. It was the FIFA where people had like Valencia at right back. And you could switch from fullback to fullback off balance on like a 360-degree turn, and you were pinging the ball 80 yards up the pitch perfectly with Antonio Valencia's one-star weak foot. Like, it was so easy to keep the ball on this game and so hard to press. But I'm sort of torn whether to put it in acceptable or one of the best. I'm going to go with one of the best. I feel like, you know, it's a good game. It's a good game. We then have FIFA 19. Now, let me tell you something. FIFA 19 for me, up until this year, was my least favourite game by a country mile. This, I absolutely hated playing it. We all have some sort of PTSD from FIFA 19. The meta on the game was sickening. The El Tornadoes, the crosses, the first time finesses from 50 yards out on weak foots. Oh man, it was horror. It was absolute horror. FIFA 19, I never ever thought that anything would overtake it ever. I didn't think it could get worse for me, you know, as the worst of all time. I was proven wrong. However, FIFA 19 is going in awful for me. I don't know whether some of you guys will disagree with that. I thought the game was utter garbage. So bad. We then have FIFA 20. Now, I am biased because, I mean, some of you will know, some of you won't. I am an ex-pro player. I did play the game professionally from FIFA 17 to FIFA 21. I played for West Ham United as an esports pro. So a lot of the bias and stuff that, in my opinions, are going to be from a competitive standpoint, which of course is the gameplay. FIFA 20 for me was my favourite year. And I know a lot of casuals will disagree because it was hard to break someone down. Like, it really took something to score a goal, and that is what I enjoy about it. You picture the gameplay we have now, and it's like you can score from anything. You know, you can dribble into your opponent, and you somehow are played in on goal from their centre back. FIFA 20, if you made a tackle, 99% of the time you were getting a ball. The defending was strong, and I'm not even saying AI defending. It wasn't really like that. You know, you did have to defend, but you were sat deep. The game auto dropped you deep, and to score a goal, it really took something. From a gameplay standpoint, controversially, FIFA 20 is my greatest of all time, and I think some of you will agree, some of you will definitely disagree. This game was very mixed. For me, it was my favourite. FIFA 21, this was the introduction of the bridge. Now, this meta absolutely stunk. You were bridge dribbling through defenders. It was so glitchy. What I will give this game is it was very responsive in terms of compared to what we have now. I believe, was this the final year before like the whole new gen thing? I think it might have been. So FIFA 21, I'm going to go with acceptable. We'll have it in this tier. Let me know your thoughts on that. It wasn't a great game, but again, I keep going back to the point of compared to what we have now, I think it was actually pretty good. FIFA 22, this is just going in meh. I don't really have many memories of this at all. I think this was a lot of first time through balls, and the gameplay wasn't great. It's better than what we have now, but I don't really have too much to say about FIFA 22. It was just okay. You know, if it come out today, would I be happy? Yes, because of this year. But yeah, FIFA 22, not too much to say. I think FIFA 23 sort of falls into the same category as that. You know, there's not really... They were pretty similar games, in my opinion. I think one thing that we have had recently is a lot of the coding, and you can just basically tell that as every year now goes on, they are just recycling the coding and copy and pasting things over one another and then releasing the product. So, you know, was there massive differences between 22 and 23? Not really. Basically the same thing. We then have FC 24. This was the first year, of course, from the transition from FIFA to FC, and I think it took a massive downturn. FC so far up to now has been a disaster. I think we can all agree that compared to the FIFA games, I think FC 24 and FC 25 are right up there as some of the worst. FC 24, Better than this year. It is better than this year. Was it a good game? Absolutely not. It was slow, pretty unresponsive, you know, all the same server issues. It's going to go into awful. And then we have FC25, which it is in a league of its own. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, FC25. I've been around a long time, you know, since FIFA 09. I'm a foot founder. I have never, ever in my life played a game that is this unresponsive, this slow, this delayed, this unrewarding. I think it is really, really bad as a product. Really bad. To the point where, you know, you've got pro players that can't even hit 15-0 because if you match enough decent people on this game, the skill gap is so low that you are just getting rigged. The skill gap has never been smaller. Like, the slower you make a game, the lower the skill gap is going to be because it eliminates any sort of reaction time and you don't need to be as responsive, and it's just a really bad product. The thing with FC25, which is making it the worst of all time, is the fact that even the menu grind is not there. You know, when the gameplay fails us, people sit on the menus and find a way to enjoy the game that way. This year, even that has gone down the drain, which is just crazy to say. But, you know, this is the earliest we've ever had a FIFA game where people have already just jumped ship over to other games. Everyone's on COD now, and FC25 seems like a sinking ship already, and we're in early November. So that is my tier list, guys. We have FIFA 20 for me, reigning supreme. We have FC25 as the worst of all time. And then we have the rest sort of jumbled up in the middle. But let me know what you think. I want to hear your best and worst of all time in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. I'll catch you on the next one. And peace.